Everybody around me is straight stressing about Christmas and money and making sure you got your bills paid and making sure that you have enough money to buy all these fucking gifts for everybody. And I see it all around me, and I'd be lying, honestly, if I didn't say that I was feeling it myself, you know. It's tight this time of year for a lot of people, and that's understandable. Like, I get it. So I was like stressing about this, and I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to think about this anymore. I don't want to worry about it. And then I just like decided in my head that I'm just not gonna do Christmas. You know, like I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not getting anybody anything, like whatever. And then I saw this post on Facebook from a friend of mine who talked about something very similar to this, only it was in regard to how much consumerism is taking over like our society and our way of doing things and our way of living. And I saw this post like, I don't know, like a day or two after I was having these kinds of thoughts. And the person who posted it, her name is Aurora Sky, and I definitely want to credit her because I very much liked this post. But it was talking about consumerism and this commercialism that the holidays has become, and how, you know, why do we have to go to such lengths, you know, this time of year to go all out and buy all this expensive shit for everybody for them to have a good Christmas, you know. And the post was talking about, like, I give gifts throughout the year. Like, why this time of year do we have to do this? Why are we, you know, conditioned and programmed to do it? So that definitely got me thinking, like, and I definitely thought it was interesting that I saw that post, you know, a couple days after I was saying to myself, I'm just not gonna fucking do this, you know. And I liked it so much because honestly it made me feel better. It honestly kind of soothed a little bit of the anxiety that I've been having in regards to this subject, where it's like, you know what, I don't want to have to go and do all this. I don't want to have to like spend all this money and do all these kinds of gifts, you know. Like, why is it that we think that way? Why is it that we're conditioned or programmed that way to do this at this time of year? This is not a video about the true meaning of Christmas being, oh, it's not about the presents, it's not about the this and the that, it's about celebrating Jesus, you know. Like, I mean, I guess it kind of like could be, but the celebrating Jesus part is not the point. It's just not the point of it. It's the point I want to make is buying all this shit. Like, that's where I'm coming from. I just really strongly think that there are other priorities, you know, other than making sure someone has a lot of material items to open on Christmas. Like, I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not. Like, I don't fucking know, but there's just other priorities. Like, my boyfriend is definitely stressing about this as well because he wants to make sure he can put on a good Christmas for his daughter. And I feel that. Like, I'm right there with him. Like, I get that. I feel it. It's understandable. It's relatable. I want the same thing as well for her. Like, duh. But in the meantime, before that, like, he desperately needs, like, to go to the eye doctor and get like contacts or glasses or something so he can, you know, fucking see. And I said, you really need to do that. Like, and that's gonna cost like a few $100s, you know, at least. But I was like, you need to do that. And he was talking about how he'd rather put that money towards Christmas for his daughter. Again, I get it. But I'm like, but that's really important. Like, you gotta fucking see, you know? I kind of hope he does not watch this video because I don't know. But, and he literally said, he's like, priorities. Like, that's the top of his priority. And, you know, I personally disagree. I feel like your health and making sure that you're squared away is more important than buying a bunch of toys and shit. Again, some people probably disagree with the way I'm thinking and probably totally agree with the way, you know, my boyfriend's thinking. Like I said, I think it's understandable, it's relatable. I get it, I'm right there with him. on wanting her to have a good Christmas, but not at the expense of sacrificing things that you need and taking care of yourself, you know? There's a lot of people who are not going to pay their bills this month because they're going to buy Christmas presents. Like, I'm sorry, but don't do that. Like, I'm not for that. I'm not for that. Another thing that's not as big as what I just said about my boyfriend is, like, I need a new phone case. Like, I really need a new phone case. And I'm going to go out and buy it. And I'm going to do that before I buy people's Christmas presents. You know, like, some people might say that that's selfish, and I get that. But for me personally, the last thing I want is for my fucking phone to break. So, like, that's really important to me. That's a priority to me. I'm taking care of myself and what I need, and I don't feel bad about it. Like, I'm not looking at it like that's selfish. Like, I'm taking care of myself. That's important to me, you know, and everything else can come after that. I just really think that taking care of yourself is, like, the most important thing, you know, over this fucking holiday that has just become so commercialized, and this consumerism that we're all about these days. Like, taking care of yourself and making sure your shit is squared away. Like, what do they say? You can't give from an empty cup or some shit. Like, making sure that you're straight, you know, like, giving to yourself, that way you're more full and then you're able to give to others. I'm botching that whole thing, but I don't give a fuck. I think my point is clear enough. A lot of people would so agree that Jesus is the reason for the season, and I feel that, like, cool, yeah, right. But they're still gonna be stressing about buying fucking Christmas presents. Like, it doesn't have to be like that, I feel. Like, there's other things you can do. There's other ways that you can give. You don't have to buy all this fucking shit in order to give. Like, give your time, give love, give attention, give appreciation, give good feelings, good vibes. Like, there's so many other things you can fucking do, you know? Get creative, make homemade shit. Honestly, like, my sister, she's got a big girl job now, but while she was going through college, she had, I don't know, like a part-time shitty job or something. She was so busy, and money was, like, making money was not a thing for her. Like, she made enough money to get by, and that was it. So every year for Christmas, like, everything she did was, like, homemade, you know, homemade cards, pictures, drawings, paintings. She's blessed. She's very creative. But that's what she did, like, and didn't have to go out and buy a bunch of shit, you know? Like, she was very creative and heartfelt about it. And I really admire that. I admire that more than she knows, because I'm not that way. I've personally always been, what's the biggest, flashiest gift I can go and fucking spend money on? Because I'd rather do that than having to fucking make something, you know? There's just other things you can do. Like, I want to give to people I love, and I'm gonna look at it like, what could be of value to them that I could give that's not a material item? Like I said, my time, doing more. I could help my mom out a lot more with shit around the house, you know, putting up decorations, like, stuff like that. Like, going out of your way for someone. That shit, I think, is so, like, underrated, honestly. And I personally could do a much better job at that. And I'm really happy that that has been brought to my attention throughout all of these kinds of thoughts, you know, and seeing everybody around me, like, stressing the fuck about money. So I just wanted to talk about all that. Like, I don't know, it's been on my mind. I think looking at it from this perspective helps, at least for me, and for my girl who I talked to the other day, it helps squash some of this anxiety, you know, that we have in regards to this. When you look at it from this perspective of, you know what, I don't have to go out and do X, Y, and Z and bend over backwards and spend money I don't have, or pick and choose how I'm gonna spend my money and not take care of myself, you know, like, priorities, right? There's things more important than buying a bunch of shit. And honestly, like, people understand. You know, a lot of people are in the same boat, but people fucking understand. People, I think, would value your time and appreciation and love a lot more. Like, that's what the season's all about. Like, I don't know. Unpopular opinion, but fuck it. I'm gonna talk about it.